This should be a really positive week once you're over the first 2 or 3 days.
Hi, Taurus. My name is Bonnie Morris, and that's Don Rumor Rivera, and we together are cards and constellations. We have married both astrology with tarot to help you with the energy of the week. Now, today we're going to start off with the moon. The moon is in Gemini at the beginning of the week. Now, on the 25th, there is a new moon. A new moon means you need to set intentions. What kind of project do you want to work on for the next 2.5 years? That's how long it will last. Okay, once we're done with the new moon, it will move into Cancer. On Friday, it will go from Cancer into Leo, and on Sunday into Virgo. Now, we're going to talk about the void, of course. You hear me talk about that. That's the space between each sign when the moon leaves one sign and goes into another. That gap in between is the void, of course. Now, I want you to understand, you're never supposed to start a project during a void, of course. Don't do it.
Look at my face. Don't do it. No, don't do it. No.
Okay?
Never,
ever. Because if you do, it's going to fall apart and you will have to redo it. Trust me. I've had people come to me and go, hey, you were right. So don't start anything new. Finish up old projects. Anything. It doesn't matter. Go fold the laundry, do the dishes, but don't start a new project, okay? Now, the void, of course, is very long. In fact, I've never seen one this long. I'm sure there has been, but I've never seen one. On the 23rd, at 1:25 in the morning, and this is all Mountain Standard Time, all the way through the 23rd, all the way through the 24th, until 8:44 in the evening on the 24th. That's almost 48 hours. That's incredibly long. Rest. That's what's most important during that time. So plan it. If you plan it out, you won't have a problem. On the 26th, it will go void, of course, at 10:15 at night, but only for about 20 minutes. At 11:06, it will then move into the next sign. On the 29th, at 4:02 in the morning, and then it comes out of the void at 4:44. Those voids are pretty normal. It's the long one you really have to be careful with. Okay, let's go see. There will be a strong sense to assert yourself, and you'll have some bravery with this one and feel a passion between idealism and reality. You may find the boundaries get a little blurred. Be cautious. There will be an undercurrent that others will miss. They may find it hard to share their thoughts without feeling vulnerable. Tradition and innovation will support one another with excellent problem-solving skills. A love of tradition. Oh boy, is that a Taurus thing, especially in family or the home life. You may find yourself imbalanced in a relationship. We all have those issues. May find it overwhelming. You may feel misunderstood. Be cautious when responding. You don't make impulsive decisions that lead to emotional shifts. Meeting someone's emotional needs and still being able to express affection for them may present a challenge during this time. So be careful. Don, what do you have for Taurus?
Wow.
I told you.
This was a heavy time to be in right now. I'm telling you, I'm afraid on Monday and Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, I think I'm just gonna stay in bed. I think I'll just stay in bed because that's the 23rd and 24th. So you know what? I'm like, don't call me, don't write me, don't text me, don't expect a response. It ain't happening. All right. There we go. We have a card that flew right out. Let's see what that is. Your first card out. Oh my goodness, is the High Priestess. The High Priestess. So with the High Priestess energy, look at the see the moon right down here. The moon is very obvious here. And that means that moon is letting you, it's giving you, it's interesting because the high priestess is that energy that is between this side and the other side. She is in front of a veil. And so when you see her, she is saying, I'm ushering in, I'm giving you a thin veil, an opportunity to see on the other side, whichever side you're on, right? So don't be surprised if you get messages from loved ones this week that have crossed over who want to connect with you because that veil is very thin. Don't be surprised if you're hearing, and I'll give you an example. Say you're saying, mom or dad who's crossed over or a sibling, and you're asking them a question or you want some information about that, right? And you're saying, hey, can you give me a sign? And all of a sudden, a song on the radio comes on that is perfectly timed and perfectly titled to answer the question. You're like, oh, what a coincidence. No, that's a conversation. So don't, and there's many ways. Sometimes we walk into a room and we smell a scent and we're like, oh, I only know one person who had that scent. I know that scent. Again, they're showing you that they're there. So don't be surprised if this week, whichever way you connect with your spirits on the other side and your loved ones, don't be surprised that they are connecting to you and they're letting you know they're there for this period. Because again, we're at a thin veil based on Bonnie's information, but also based on this card. And as the moon cycles through, that veil will get thicker again. So don't be surprised on the beginning of the week, you may get lots of downloads and information from spirit and from your loved ones. And then by the end of the week, it kind of slows down and tapers off. All right. But they're bringing you information you need to know because this is the symbol here of the Torah. And the Torah is only opened a little bit. So you only see a little bit of it because they can't give you it all. But they're going to give you enough for you to do what you need to do to move forward or to do something, that I don't know, you would say was something that will help you moving forward again, because again, It's on you.
Mm-hmm. What do they call when you're getting those messages? They call it intuition. So when you have this gut feeling that song is meant for me, you're right. That's your gut. That's your intuition. That is them talking to you.
Absolutely. On the bottom of the deck, which is the overall energy of your environment, it's a very positive, happy energy. Okay. So don't be surprised if you feel more relief and by the week's end. Don't be surprised if you feel more enlightened and you feel fresh because again, I'm getting the feeling when you get this card, it's like you came from a strong, hard energy before. So I wouldn't be surprised if last week your energy was kind of hard, but this week it's going to free up a little bit around you. Again, this is your environmental energy. This is not yours. Your energy is more about enlightenment and understanding. Now, the other thing the next card that comes out that's just part of this is the Sun card. And I love that too, because that Sun card is super strong energy. And more importantly, it's telling us the information that we're getting, the download that we're getting, the direction we're getting. We need to pay attention because it's leading us to a really happy, bright place. And again, it's funny because that Sun card with this positive energy in your environment together, this should be a really good week for you. This should be a really positive week once you're over the first 2 or 3 days. Again, the first 2 or 3 days are filled with a lot of little glitches maybe, or little pitfalls. So be careful. Just work around those for the beginning of the week. And by the end of the week, what I'm getting is very strong. And then look at this, the Judgment card. If you have done some good things, if you put out some good seeds and you planted some wonderful things along the way, you've helped people, you've done things, this would be a week where you're going to see those things return to you. The spirits in the universe will return in kind. And if you ain't been kind, then you don't want the kind.
That's karma. And karma is from the planet Saturn. And we talked about Saturn being big this week.
There you go. So again, that Judgment card, keep that in mind, whatever you put out. And again, if things get a little frustrating or sour, because again, some of the things come back to bite you, let it roll off your back. Let it roll off like water on duck's back, because you don't need to buy the energy again. If you've already spent the energy and it was a bit negative and then it came back to you negative, if you respond in negative, you're again going to just compound the problem. So this week, because as I had said, your positive environmental energy is so good, we're not going to allow ourselves to get into that messy ugliness. We're going to say, you know what, even if something bad comes, you say, you know what, I earned that. Okay, I'm good. I take it and I move on. That's easy. I know it sounds easier said than done, but I promise you, if you don't compound the problem, you will be happy with the solutions. And look at this, we have a 6 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups is again the planting the seed. So make sure this week, which is what we're talking about, is that fertility, planting the seeds, making something, getting something ready to grow. And as we move forward in that happy energy, we're putting forward a happier, new kind of positive vibe, which should carry us all the way through July, through the entire month of July. Because I'm picking up, this is again the 6th. So this is the working on the 6th month, June, planting the seed in the 6th month, June, so that July will be a beneficial thing. So again, the 6th month will pay for the 7th. All right. So interesting read. I didn't expect it to go that way, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah, I like it. The energy's good.
And how did that align with the astrology, Ms. Bonnie?
I think it did really well because Saturn is so involved this week. Saturn's all about abundance. It's about being committed to learning a lesson. It's about karma. So
and that is that judgment card. It'll bite you in the boot. So with that said, show us a little bit of love and karma by hitting that like, share, subscribe, and follow buttons. We would appreciate it. Please follow Bonnie's channel over on YouTube at Your Love Goddess. You can also pop over and go to Sonoran Mystic Tarot, which is my page or my channel, which is again Sonoran Mystic Tarot. Or you can and you can go to Cards and Constellations over on YouTube and do it there. We are putting these readings out all 3 places, and so give us some love and hit them up if you can. We would truly appreciate it. With that said, until next week, love, light, and blessings from Miss Bonnie and myself and our families to you and yours. We'll see you then. Bye.